find ways to achieve the aim of the world, and through the possession of which helps the Buddhas explain the variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into a lightning guide, motivated by altruism and perfect sensibilities, the teacher is regarded and protector to your frustrations. The one who has eliminated the real conceptualizations and is endowed with the fine ways of the past and the profound, who eternally shines forth forever by grace to you, the Bodhgaya frustrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion to create in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then we have the essence of independent origination mantra, and we'll say this 3 times. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Brahma Etum Desham Tathagato Yavadat Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vadi Mahashamana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Etum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vadi Mahasramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Etu Prabhava Etum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vadi Mahashamana Yesva. The meaning: all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well as taught by the Great Spirit. Profound, peaceful, liberation-free, light and non-opposite, such as the naked one in our mind discovered. Finding no one to found this teaching, inspires I retire to the woods. Beyond utterance, all the expressions of perfection, which is not held by cease and transformation of space, which is not yet our ancient self-realized system, which we do not know the Buddha's of the times are by instance. The 4 seals of the Buddhist teachings. All cosmic beings are impermanent. All contaminated beings are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of ignorance and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha. The Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything also. Our refuge is the Guru. Like the sun and the light of the Dharma, we liberate all beings of miseries. And teach you to remind your name and your teachings until the end of experience back to the Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings. He does not remove the limits his reason by his hands. The spirit of the revolution is transferred to them. The exploitation of truth of such as that means are liberated. The holy hands are received to Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all beings. If you are attached to desire, you are not spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you are not realization. If you are attached to your own self, you are not Bodhichitta. If you are expressed, you do not have you. And then, if we move to page 14, Christ to Shepherd. To the founder, he found and sent the destroyer, the one of God beyond, to the fight destroyer, completely connected, fully perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Siddhartha, lower of the world, supreme out of human beings to be attained, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, completely and fully awakened one, the hour that sends the destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the spiritual changer, I appreciate it, my office and the refuge. And supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth. He takes our second strides, and said, I'm free in this world. To you will the wise men are prostrate. The oil on his false spring, restoration like a golden mountain, flame that blazes in the living waters. We know the best, Lord, to you are prostrate. With the supreme science face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you are prostrate. That us dream like you, the three words are not. Empire wise one, to you are prostrate. The Savior of every compassion, the founder of all understanding, the field of red with qualities that are aspiration, to you that are prostrate. The purity of the reason of attachment, the virtue that frees one from the Lord, what one heart is the light of your head, the dark aspires by prostrate. Those who are liberated also show the path of liberation, a holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to glory steps, to you the Son are prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of Buddha. The star of visual revelation, flame of the ground, illusion, drop to your bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, these conditions as such. Through these merits, insentient beings of today bring all sleep, subdue the four faults, and pure from civilization, turn toward ways of fleeting sickness and death. Page 29, the House Sutra. The Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. Buddha was learning my sculptures of contemplation. Together with great people from great Bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in concentration on the activities of phenomena, or practical elimination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva looked upon the very practice of profound elimination of wisdom. Many others of our faculties also attempted to then through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. How should any child of lineage who wishes to practice their activity of wisdom throne? He said that the Bodhisattva Mahasattva said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra is another lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity without perfection of wisdom, should look upon it like this, and recreate beauty in the body of society, also as empty and purification. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other form, form is just not other emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, oppositional practice, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra likewise all phenomena without characteristics, unproduced, unceased, strangless, not without safety, not efficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra therefore indicates that there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no oppositional practice, no consciousness, no mind, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no phenomenon. There is no I and soul untogether to the mind of no consciousness self. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and soul untogether, no age and death, no extinction of age and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation of path. There is no result of wisdom, no attainment, nor cause of non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, the Buddha is God of you. Bodhisattvas allow and he completely passed beyond error, he reached the point of the mind. All the Buddhas who were 3 times also manifested completely unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment, in the wise of perfection wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of perpetual wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that spoke as the cause of suffering, which knows frequencies is not false. The mantra of perpetual wisdom is clear. Mantra Om Bhakti 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 Asam Bhakti Bodhisattva. Shariputra, the Then the Buddha arose with the classification of well said, son of image. It is like that, it is like that. Once you practice the profound revelation of wisdom just as you have indicated, even a Takaras rejoice. The Buddhism and has spoken, Equalizing, Bodhichitta Retreat, those surrounded in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, spirits, and animals, were overjoyed in having praised that son of Buddha. And now we'll say the mantra of the Buddha 7 times. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisvaya 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisvaya. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, my inner and outer appearances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be consistent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may mind and joys be in accord with the Dharma, may auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Next we'll do the 8 verses for training the mind on page 35 by Geshe Dorji Damdul. With a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wishes of the dead, may I hold them here at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I hear myself as the voice of my soul, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental or emotional features arise, as they endanger myself and others, and I strongly confront them and hurt them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativities and suffering, may I hold them dear and know where to find, as if I had discovered a jewel treasure. When others are jealously treating wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself to defeat and not to others victory. When someone who I have helped or earned my practice boast, mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer the benefit of the world to all of my sisters, both directly and indirectly. I have tried to take upon myself the points and needs of others. May all this be undefiled by mistakes which take your concerns, and may I recognize that all these solutions, whatever they produce. Next is Lamas on Karpa's Labor and Dedication Prayer, verse 1. From contemplation to trust, peace, and higher masses working together for this practice of reflecting time. May I become the chief living Buddha of all those who find wisdom Next is the 7-week practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practices of Mattapatra. I bow down to the youthful prayer and Geshe. You, the Buddhas, the minds amongst humans, God, freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect and with as many bodies as atoms in the world, to all you Buddhas visualize as freedom, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas and non-Buddhist particles, each installation of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the spirit of all phenomena is entirely to do with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the mouth in my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of his partners. Beautiful flowers and radiant gardens, sweeping with extended oils and parasols, sparkling lakes and surrounding incense, I offer to you victorious life. My dress and fragrant perfumes, sacred power and highest self-glory, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you victorious ones. With an ascendant of fearless stars, with profound evolution of all the Buddhas, with strength and wishes in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every incarnation I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and generations, of solitary rises, clearest of flame beyond the phenomenon, and of all ordinary peace. You who are the bright lights of the worlds of the 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through his faithful awakening. All of you who are my allies, in service to the kingdom of Dharma. We will come together, I earnestly request you, please stay with us for the leaders and humbleness and happiness of the world. For the happiness is all the leading of all of us. Whatever sight whether I may have been by the demonstrations of all the consistency, rejoicing in the wisdom of the Buddhist teaching, and may all this of the way of all peace.
Okay, the model offering. The model offering is the offering the best that you can think of that we have, the world has, the universe has, to all possible surface. So it's mind. This is was in English or this ground are non-duality, children flowers from the water, for origins the sun and moon. I imagine this is the word of the offering. We also take it in order to do that.
Next is the 4 Dharmas of Venerable Gampopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed toward the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of thoughts. May he bless the applause that's seen in the light of exalted wisdom, the four dharmas of venerable Bhikshu Mahasapa. By coming up to the prostrated ignorance that grasps our true existence, please bless me to generate genuine realization, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my righteous and noble flows with the precious Bodhichitta, the treasures of God's mind and myself. Please bless me to have the magnificent experience of wisdom and happiness that does not see the inherent and intrinsic reality. I will place this understanding of things coming to be and the origination truly conditioned. Please bless me that my mind stretches overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of existence. Ina Guru Ratna Mandala Kami Next is the foundation of all good qualities by Acharya Lama's Old. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this good earth is found only once, it is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate a mind unceasingly day and night to make successes. This state is in the relatives of all other. And become wicked to case and never comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and unvirtuous comes follow. By having firm and definite conviction of this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon precise negativity, and accomplish all virtuous truths. Samsara standards are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door of all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to liberate all wishes for bliss and liberation. Led by his pure love, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution of Christ, the root of the teachings is the people of cultural fast. These blessings will accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so fall I by great repentance. Please bless me to see this, train and supreme Bodhichitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing my great repentance. Even if I develop Bodhichitta, but I don't practice the three types of variety, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva art with great energy. Once I practice my distractions to all objects, and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate good and uniform mindstream, the unified path of our lives and essential insights. Having become a pure and soul training into the path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme magic vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping pure hearts and mind. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pages of my life. Then become realizing the importance of the two stages, the essence of Nalanda, by practicing great energy and living like the four sessions. Please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, many gurus to show the noble path and the spiritual friends to practice the hard lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my life, never separated from perfect gurus, when I enjoy the benefits of Dharma, by completing the qualities of the stations of the hearts, and quickly increase the state of Dharma.
Okay, next is the wisdom verse. And the first is in English, followed by chanting in Tibetan. We are Bodhichitta Retreat, Master of God's wisdom, as well as our conscious of positive introspection. Sometimes our to the cities that there was not talk at your feet and negotiations. You are the Bodhichitta Retreat of non-referential compassion, and when usually you master the fullest wisdom, as well as Vajrapati, distill all the demons without exception. Swamara, crown jewel of the sages of the life knows, Losantara, and your feet have made restrictions. Okay, our time is up. Thank you. Let's see that. Let's see that. Okay. Generating the mind of yoga. Now this is the main practice, which is consists of 4 parts. One, the shamatha meditation. That's whatever we are doing, and then we have renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness, and followed by taking the aspiration bodhisattva. Okay, first, the shamatha meditation. For this, we already gave the instructions before, but particularly for the newcomers, like again a quick the reminder or to refresh the instructions on the 4 points to keep in mind. One is the body posture. Of the body posture, 2 things very important. While they are is also known as the 7-limb Bodha Bodhichana's position, but of the 7, 2 things very important. One is the body, keep the body upright, and you can sit on the chair, you can sit in whatever position which is more comfortable, but the body should be upright, and only if you have backache problem or knee problem, so forth, and then you may need to lean against the support. Otherwise, don't lean against the support. Keep the body upright. While the body is upright, make sure that the body is flexible. The body is flexible. This is one most important thing. And second one, which is very important, is eyes not closed. Eyes not closed. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and then meditate. Because eyes closed, later on you will see the problem that initially with eyes open you may find it difficult. With eyes open is more the greater ease, and meditation is way more the qualitative. But in long run, with eyes open, you will come to know that the progress will be stopped. You reach to a saturation point where there's no progress anymore, and then it's very dangerous. It can become a very bad habit. Okay, so with eyes open initially, and then when you become good in meditation, then you will get a confidence that with eyes open, eyes closed, both ways there's no problem. And particularly for single point of meditation, which means that the focus is on the just to build stability of the mind. So there,
and that to the objects for like the breath or your mind and so forth, eyes should be open. Where its eyes close, then instantly you will feel the rigor of the mind instantly dropping. So when the rigor of the mind drops, the quality of the mind, quality of meditation is compromised. So therefore, we should make sure that the eyes are not closed, and later on, when you're really good at it, then with your own judgment, you can see that at times you can be do the meditation with the eyes closed, sometimes the eyes open, is fine. Okay, so these are two main things, and the hand just is fine. Right hand on left hand, two thumbs joining, forming a triangle, and place the two hands in your laps in a restful state. This is your body posture. And focal point. Don't be too distracted. Don't be too don't look for too many things. Just go for at the most go for two things. Multitasking. One is counting the breath. Breathe in, breath out. Again, breathe in. Breathing in, breath out, combined together is one cycle. So this we're going to repeat for when you're on your own, you can do it for 21 cycles. When in group, it'll sustain you longer. For 5 minutes, which is going to be like 60 cycles. When you're on your own, just do it 21 cycles. Give a short break. Again, do 21 cycles. Do it like 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening, and just see, even though it's going so well, so good, don't be too excited, don't be carried away with bad excitement, and do it like, say, the 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you are compromising your qualities. Initially, you may feel quality there, gradually the quality will drop, and it can become a very bad habit. Then the next job is, instead of doing the practice, your job is to undo the bad habit, and this bad habit you're going to take to the next life also. So right from the beginning, the focus on the quality, and short session, and initially like 3 sessions in the morning, 3 sessions in the evening, but very short sessions. And later on, gradually, you can reduce the number of the sessions, but increase the duration of the sessions. Okay, this is what we have to do. Then number 3 is okay. So number 2, while you were focusing on the breath, just counting breath, breath in, breath out, breath in, and then later on, let's say after a few months or after 1 year, 2 years, you want to make it more complicated. Yes, there are very complicated techniques where you have to visualize the air breathing in, breathe it from the right nostril. Just imagine that the air in the form of like the white smoke, very thin, like white smoke, like the thread, like a thread, very thin white smoke enters your air, goes to your right nostril, enters your central channel, goes down, again pass to the right channel, come up, again to the central channel, likewise the left, and then together. So it can be very tiring because of the visualization and very powerful, but then for the time being, if you do that, nothing will happen. So later on you can go for that. For the time being, we just focus on that, just count the breath. And you want to add more, you can do multitasking. While counting the breath, you also visualize a tiny white dot between your nose and the upper lip. So these two things you can go together. So this is your focal point. Then number 3, identify the errors of mistake. What mistakes can we make when you do the meditation? Primarily 2, mental laxity and the excitement. Excitement is the overactivity of the mind, and mental laxity is the inactivity of the mind. These two are the 2 errors, and when these 2 things happen, and still when you're aware, still you let go like this, then you are really, then the best thing is start the meditation. When these two things happening, your mental laxity is happening, or mental excitement is happening, and still you don't do anything to stop these things, you just let it go. For example, like mental laxity happens, mind feels heavy, and then you don't feel like getting up, So mindful is a little heavy. You identify that still you just let it go like this, then better stop meditation. Don't do meditation for the time being. Because this is a very bad, it can be a very bad habit, and the quality will could totally be compromised. Okay, so these two things can happen. When they happen, apply the remedies. Don't just stay idly. Apply the remedies. There is number 4. Apply the remedies. Remedies twofold: introspection and mindfulness. So just once in a while, keep your mind to check. Keep an eye on your mind to check if the mind is in lax state or in excited state, overactive or inactive. Just check it. The moment you sense, with the help, you check with the help of introspection. The moment you sense that your mind is in lax state or in the excited state, then apply the mindfulness to bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, and then later, when you want to really specialize in this practice, you may discover subtle problems, subtle the problems. For this, you have to seek the help of your teachers to see how to overcome these problems. Are you ready? 5 minutes. Okay, next, now renunciation. Now finally, our job is to awaken our hidden treasure. For that awakening, it requires two things. One is that your mind and to really feel the true nature of the mind. True nature of the mind is like the light whose nature is to spread everywhere. But when you look at the mind, it does not spread. It's so restricted to myself or my family, my friends, and then your country and so forth. There's always a barrier there. There's no external barrier. This barrier is created by a mind. So what is that barrier? That barrier is the barrier of the self-centered attitude and self-grasping ignorance. So if these two barriers are not there, then mind will spread. All the when the picture which covers the light, when the picture is broken, then the light spreads everywhere. And actually, you don't do anything to pull the light to different parts. It automatically flows. That is the nature of light. Likewise, a mind, the true nature of mind is to spread everywhere. But there is the opposing factor which obstructs this mind from behaving in its true nature. There is a self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. And to counteract this self-centered attitude, this affection is compassion, affection, which flows your mind to others. That's so important. And to let this mind flow to others, and then to manifest in form of compassion, that we need to see the pain of others, and that you practice in such a way that you feel the pain, empathize with the pains of others. To feel that, you should know what the pain is like to yourself. So, to know the pain on yourself and to aspire to get rid of this pain is known as renunciation. So, renunciation should precede the Bodhicitta. So, with this mind, to practice renunciation, we need to know the meaning of renunciation, to renounce your own miseries, not to renounce the happiness. And how to renounce the miseries? Thus far, we already studied the four seals. The Buddha taught that to renounce the miseries, we need to identify the causes of the miseries and eradicate them. What are the causes? The Buddha taught, Ye dharma hetu prabhava, hetum desham tathagato hyavatat. All phenomena arise from causes, and the causes taught by the Tathagata. What are the causes which the Buddha taught? That is summarized by Arya Maitreya in his text Mool Madhyamaka Karika, or the Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way, where Arya Maitreya taught, which we already learned yesterday. Ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. Karma's afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, and the elaboration ceases by or into the emptiness. Okay, from this we learn 4 points. The miseries, the tears that we have to shed, they all come from the immediate cause of the contaminant karmas, which in turn arises from afflictions, gross afflictions, which in turn arises from the conceptualization of inappropriate attention, and which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. So finally we see that self-grasping ignorance is at the root of all the miseries. To get rid of this ignorance, the Buddha taught that even the ignorance, there are many layers, of which the Buddha particularly focused on identified four, and the Buddha taught how to counteract these the four kinds of ignorance. Ignorance which misconceives impermanent phenomena as permanent, which misconceives miseries as happiness, which misconceives impure things as pure, and finally, ignorance which misconceives what is selfless nature as of selfhood. And to counteract these four kinds of ignorance, Buddha taught the four seals, particularly the first 3 seals, which are the remedy to these 4 kinds of ignorance. And the fourth seal is the resultant state of the practice of the wisdoms. So the four seals, the first seal, and today we'll do this as a guided meditation, and then over time, maybe in 2 days' time or 3 days' time, we'll try to do that on our own without being guided. Which means that how it is done, let us try to be mindful of these so that we can do it on our own without being guided. First, impermanent. All composite things are impermanent. And composite things, meaning things which are composed of directional parts like atoms, electrons, protons, so forth, and the temporal parts like parts in time. Anything which is composed of these two things, these two parts, should necessarily be impermanent in nature. And impermanence is of two kinds: gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. Gross impermanence, impermanent phenomena whose continuum terminates. For example, our youth. Invariably our youth stops. 2024, invariably it stopped. Like, this is so important for us to think about this, think of this gross impermanence, the impermanence of your death. Look back in time. Go to witness, go to see the rebels, go to see the destroyed forts, palaces, and so forth. What are these? Once upon a time, these are extremely important places where the kings, queens, and common people, they don't even get there. They're heavily guarded by these security personals. Now tell me, where are these people? For example, look at the Great Pyramids. Huge, massive structure. What is this? This is the symbol to say that once upon a time there was a person, or they were a group of people known as the royal families. Now where are they? Now in those days, common people cannot even go close by these coffins, mummies. Now the archaeologists, they play with these. They were checking whose mummy is that. We couldn't even identify who these are. So this impermanence, once upon a time, very powerful, now gone. A faint memory. 200 years ago, 300 years ago, on planet Earth, perhaps the population may be like 3 billion. And where are these 3 billion people? They're all gone. Some were younger than you, some older than you, some were your age. And then children, they have so much expectation of their career, and the parents have the expectation from the children. Now where are they? Whether the expectations, the careers, ambitions, they're fulfilled or not fulfilled, they're all gone. People are gone. And we don't have it. How many of you remember your great-great-parents? Many of us, we don't even have a clue of your grandparents. Great-grandparents, we have no clue. And of course, we came from these people. Where are they? We don't know. Who are they? We don't know. This is impermanence. And it's not that they are unfortunate and we are very fortunate. No, it's a matter of time. In future, 200 years down the line in the future, 8 billion human beings, not a single out of the 8 billion human beings will be alive then. Same. And those people will wonder, who are those people who 200 years ago? Their great-parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, their great-great-parents, they would have no idea about our existence. This is reality. So, keeping this in mind, the Buddha taught that whatever gathers ends in dispersing. Whatever is accumulated ends in exhaustion. And the youth is full of old age. Good health is full of sickness and ailments. And birth ends in death. This is reality. Okay. Yes. And this impermanence, to contemplate on these is so important for us, so important. Particularly when we are to experience some moments of happiness, cheesecake, or whatever moments of happiness. Just give yourself at least a few seconds before you jump into this. Give seconds. Tell yourself, even this is impermanent. Then you engage in this cheesecake or whatever. Then after that's finished, tell yourself, how true was that? The thought that came to me before I embarked on this, or I engaged in this act of enjoying the cheesecake, that this is impermanent. How true? Very true, now it's gone. So, give yourself 2 moments. First moment before enjoying, second moment after enjoying. Just try to tally the 2, and this will reinforce your conviction in the impermanence, in the natural impermanence of all the composite phenomena, which is so important. And this will make us give a very different direction of your life. Life will be very beautiful, with full of meaning, where all the unnecessary the engagements with the trivialities will be cut, and your time will not be wasted, and your time will be used only for productive, for your own growth. This growth happening, and that your mind, awakening of your hidden treasure happens, where the tears of pain starts to be stopped. They're so precious. And this impermanence, gross impermanence, is possible only if there's a impermanence happening on the subtle level, subtle impermanence, which is the momentariness involved with all the composite phenomena. The change that you see within a span of 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, your age, that's possible only if the change is happening on a yearly basis, which in turn is possible only if the change is happening on a monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis. And I hope that all of us, we have pressed the timer or the stopwatch of a mobile and see how the digits move. You must do that. You must do that, if possible, once in a while. Keep doing this. That is going to be a constant reminder of our meditation impermanence, to feel that composite things are moving. Every composite phenomena is moving like at this pace of fast. This recognition is so powerful to serve like a seed, to strain and de-strainer, to stop all the unnecessary things and let your mind flow, engage only in meaningful things. This is so powerful, this is so beneficial practice. So with this impermanence, yes, our bodies move so fast, like these digits and digits of the timer and the stopwatch. And even your husband, wife, children, parents, and your house, your cars, the road, the planet Earth, the whole solar system, the whole Milky Way galaxy, the whole universe, it moves so fast. It's very scary to think of that. Imagine that you are thrown in a very fast-moving train by an unknown person. Yes, very scary. The faster the train moves, more the fear. We don't know where this train is taking. Who decides where this train is taking us? Imagine that if it's your mother who is your train driver, it'll only take you to a specific spot, mom, dad. But if it's a terrorist, or the driver dictated by the dictator of the terrorists, will only take us to a slaughterhouse. In a case, while the driver is a mind, unfortunately, there is a dictator of the worst of the contaminations, worst of the terrorists, which is self-grasping ignorance and complemented by self-centered attitude. If this were the case, it will only take us to suffering. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are suffering nature. What kind of suffering? 3 kinds of suffering: suffering change, and the pervasive condition suffering. Suffering. This is the most immediate suffering, which is acutely, unbearably painful, than the evident suffering. And this, why we are there, is because of the vicious bait created by the suffering change. Vicious bait. the mundane happiness. Yes, more evolved beings will be extremely unhappy to think of the suffering change, more so than think of the suffering. And the most evolved beings, they will think of the pervasive condition suffering as a mastermind. And for them, there's nothing worse than the mastermind. They know that where there's the mastermind, the suffering change, they're continuously going to be created. Where the mastermind stops, all the suffering, and pervasive suffering will be stopped. This is how we need to evolve. For the time being, we may be more into the suffering, that we feel so pained by the suffering. One moment of such suffering is good enough to nullify. For example, like the loss of near and dear ones, the pain of loss of dear ones. It just shatters with the peace of my mind. And all the merriments, festivities, birthdays, parties, celebrations, so forth, that you had in your life, they seem so shallow, meaningless, hollow, grim, in the face of one moment of such a tragedy, losing the end of one's son. Yes, that's very true. And this cycle of suffering, triggered by the Bates, suffering change, masterminded by the pervasive condition suffering. This is what is like the whole big wheel which we are part of, and that it never stopped. Next life again, next life again. It's endlessly many. When will they stop? 2024, it stopped on its own. And when will they stop? They will never stop on their own. While impermanent phenomena is of two kinds, there's another way of classifying the impermanent phenomena into three kinds. One, impermanent phenomena whose continuum invariably stops, like 2024. Second, impermanent phenomena whose continuum never stops, no matter what you do, like your mind, time, and so forth. Number three, impermanent phenomena whose continuum stops only if you put a concerted effort with a conscious effort. Okay, and this, the tears, the painful tears, sickness, aging, death, the pain of the losing the dear ones, this falls under the third category. That is the impermanent phenomenon whose continuum stops only through conscious effort. What kind of effort is required? For this, the Buddha taught, check the nature of the problems. Check the root, nature of the root of the problems, and you discover that the root is ignorance. And how to get rid of this ignorance? Ignorance, you have to introduce counterforce. Ignorance should be the wisdom. What wisdom? Wisdom which is precisely directly in opposition with the ignorance pertaining to the object of apprehension. So what is this wisdom? The wisdom to see. The wisdom, by the very definition, is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. And what's the reality? Reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Everything like a dream. The moment you discover the dream is dream, your fears dissolve. Fears of the dream dissolves. Likewise, the Buddha indicated everything, be it conventional dream or even the waking state, they're all like dream. They're all the part of what is known as the unconventional dream. And the Buddha encouraged us to wake up from the sleep of the unconventional dream. Okay. So how to wake up? To discover that everything is empty of objective reality. Okay, just let us, we're yet to be introduced to emptiness. Just let us imagine that we, as the Buddha taught, we discovered that everything is like dream. Everything is empty of objective reality, but everything is just subjective real, like a dream. Objectively, it's all empty. Just imagine that. And imagine that you wake up from the sleep of the unconventional dream, where all the fears in the unconventional dream drops. You feel the total ease, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, everything dissolves, and the peace is restored. You transcend the sorrow, and absolute peace dawns in you. Stay in this experience. This is what the Buddha indicated as the fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Or you just generate this very strong aspiration. May I forever experience this emptiness, where emptiness of objective reality, where all my sorrows are transcended and a peace dawns, absolute peace dawns. That aspiration is known as fun understanding of the renunciation. We can slowly come out of this to move to the Bodhicitta practice. Slowly come out. Are you ready? For the Bodhicitta, we'll do this on the basis of the practice of the four vegetables. And oftentimes, some people, when you do this practice, people say that this practice is so superficial, we don't resonate, our mind doesn't really resonate with this practice. So yes, I fully agree with these. Yes, it is like practicing music, where you mimic your teachers pressing different keyboards, but no music comes out. Only noise comes out. But keep doing it, very seriously and sincerely, and gradually the music comes out. This is known as the practice. This is known as the training. So, though initially the practice doesn't resonate with your thinking, but keep doing it very seriously and sincerely, and gradually the beautiful, the mind of the Bodhicitta will manifest. It's so beautiful, so precious, and the most appealing mind in this whole universe. Are you ready? Okay. Let us reinforce the visualization of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to bless us, to be the inspiration to our practice of the Bodhicitta. And also visualize your true parents, all the family members, including children, and all Dhamma sentient beings. And if you do have complication with your parents, in some cases, since you were a little child, you didn't get this love and affection of your parents, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have the Buddha nature. Then nobody can give you greater love and affection than your own Buddha nature. That is Buddha nature manifests. And more than what others get, the love and affection of the parents, you get the incredible love and affection that other people get from the parents, multiplied that with the infinity, will be provided by the awakening of your Buddha nature. This is amazing, it's there. But the thing is that our thinking must be revolutionized from the ordinary people's thinking to an evolved way of thinking. So what is the evolved way of thinking? To transcend the ordinary people's thinking. Where you don't get the love and affection, then you don't feel it. These are ordinary people's thinking. Now, you initiate it. You give the love and affection, and then you get the maximum love and affection from your Buddha nature. And that is the greatest of the thing. And the joy that somebody feels from the love and affection that they get from somebody else. You multiply it with infinity, this is what you will get from you taking the initiative to share the love and affection to us others. Yes, but this mind, think of all the sentient beings with you. At home, you will do the two methods to generate bodhicitta, but here we'll do the four immeasurables and end it with the Bodhicitta commitment. Ready? Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Cause of happiness primarily consisting of the most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of raising her children with so much hardship. Today, the eldest daughter, just aged 12, and the eldest son, aged 11, come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mom, please take rest. You have done everything for us. We know how much you love us. We also love you. We are all grown up now. We'll take care of all our siblings." The mother could not believe her eyes and ears of what is happening today. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They feel so proud to see that you are making such courageous commitment. And this pride and happiness Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the Bodhisattva of yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The causes of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, and the offshoots. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they are intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars for the Bodhisattva makes yours. Washes of all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all the demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and who causes happiness that they endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. And you're witnessing that the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're so happy to see that you're taking such a responsibility. The happiness and the pride that they feel invoke the compassionate minds to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the boss beings yours stabilizes the happiness and the cause of happiness the beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all of demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear sentient with total love and affection, leaving none aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, the intense happiness and proud of you, this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectar of soothing light towards you and all demonstration beings. That mere touch of light and nectar with the body brings yours. Frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion to others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demonstrations equally, living on our side. And you, but such a miracle is happening to all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Day 3, deep breath, sound with relief. Underscoring all the four immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings. State about his experience of unconditional love towards all the beings. Imagine that you are looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings with total love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in the eyes. This unconditional love that you're feeling now, this is the foundation for you to generate Bodhicitta, which in turn is the route to attain full awakening of the hidden treasure within you, that you experience total fearlessness, infinite happiness, technically referred to as the attainment of Buddhahood. Amazing, so precious. With folded hands, let us, with this universal compassion that you practice now, universal affection that you feel now, that is the basis. Let us generate Bodhicitta, commitment 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Stay in this experience of the Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind, the most appealing mind in the entire universe. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean white moon disk, horizontally sitting at the heart. Okay, it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. But remember that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. I'm not a handful of sand, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which oil does come out. I have the Buddha energy within me, hidden treasure within me. If this were the case, how come that it is not awakened, is not activated since time immemorial till today? Yes, it's all because that till date I'm being deceived by the two demons, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. Today I'm disillusioned by these two things. I'm going to do everything to exterminate these two demons. What am I going to do? I'm going to introduce very powerful remedy to overcome this to get rid of these two demons. What is that? The non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. Non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. What is that like? Okay, let's quickly retrieve the emptiness meditation, emptiness of objective reality of things, what we did as the third of the 4 seals. Okay, just imagine that, as the Buddha taught, everything is like a dream. Just everything's coming from mind, just as your dream. Conventional dream comes from your mind, but in dream you see it as so real. This is deception. The moment you wake up, you discover that the deception is removed. To discover that nothing exists objectively, everything is subjectively real. Likewise, imagine that you wake up from the state of the unconventional dream, and that you discover that everything is coming from your mind. Objectively, nothing is there. Objectively, everything is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. This experience of emptiness, objective reality, slowly transform this into a spotlessly thumb-sized white Vajra standing on the moon disk at her heart. Okay, this is amazing. This is known as the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas. Moon, from National Bodhicitta, generation of which will help get rid of the self, the demon of the self-centered attitude. And Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta to exterminate all the mental defilements, that your hidden treasure will be awakened fully. Amazing. This is known as the non-dual bodhicittas, two bodhicittas in unison. Yes, this is so precious. So precious. Don't forget, your two parents are there, your children are there, all your family members are there, all sentient beings are there, suffering terribly badly. Generate very strong compassion for them. And this compassion invokes the Vajramuni at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one side of the Vajramoon at the heart of your mother, one side at the heart of your father, one side with each one of the family members, including children, one with each of the beings here in Root Institute in Bodhgaya, one with each of the beings in India, in your own country, in the entire world, to every creature in the massive ocean, water bodies, the oceans, seas. From the tiniest of the unicellular organism to the biggest of the blue whales, everyone gets a share of the Vajramoon from you. Likewise, in the wilderness, in the forest, from the tiniest of the insects to the biggest of the elephants and so forth, and in the entire Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe, everyone gets a share of the Vajramoon from you. That's amazing, so generous, so kind of you. And meanwhile, let us also not forget that all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Why not? We request to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be the witness and a guest to our undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As a gesture for making this request, let us slowly stand up along with all the other sentient beings to make three prostrations to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, see if you can sit on your right knees to take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay, page 50. Whereas if you have any problem, knee problem, back problem, so forth, don't force yourself to sit on your knees. Sit in the most comfortable position, whichever is most comfortable. And given that it'll take few minutes, so in between, if you start to feel the pain, make sure that you again sit down most comfortably. You may begin with these, sit on right knees, and later sit comfortably as the pain starts to come. Okay. Now visualize as you have requested all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, just imagine that you are a little girl or little boy, aged just 4 or 5, and for the first time that you make a public appearance on behalf of your school. And yes, you are a little nervous, and all your parents, whatever they leave behind, whatever they have to do that day, to join the audience, waving their hands to you, giving the assurance that we are here, don't worry, there's nothing to worry, we are so proud of you. Yes, of course, this is exactly what is happening to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. They feel so proud what you are doing today. And you, although you are a very little girl, little boy, but you're a very responsible child, you bring along with you all your siblings to also give opportunity to them to take part in this program. This is exactly what you're doing to all the dear messenger beings. You're bringing them all here with you to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And this is the most important thing that you can think of doing in your life. The most meaningful thing, one thing which is the most meaningful thing in your life to do, this is it. So with this mind, let us wholeheartedly recite the first verse 3 times, and imagine the all Buddhas Bodhisattvas, they are like your parents. They leave behind whatever they have to do that day to join you, to observe what you're doing. Okay. And while we recite these verses, make sure that we contemplate on meanings. This is so important. Are you together? I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. The next 2 verses. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelled in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and otherwise shall I do successful training in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and otherwise shall I do successful training in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and otherwise shall I do successful training in the Bodhisattva practices. Okay, feel the joy of having received the Bodhisattva vow, aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow, yes, it is not necessary that you should be Buddhist. It's not necessary at all. Anybody who wishes to stop harming others, anybody who wishes to help others to the best you can, you are entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay, now let's repeat this mantra after me 3 times. Om Sarva Yoga Chitta Upatayami. Om Sarva Yoga Chitta Upatayami. Om Sarva Yoga Chitta Upatayami. Okay, next mantra. Om Surate Samayatam Ho Siddhi Benza Yata Sukam. Om Surate Samayatam Ho Siddhi Benza Yata Sukam. Om Surate Samayatam Ho Siddhi Benza Yata Sukam. Okay, feel the joy of having received the Bodhisattva vow. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are so happy, proud of you, like your parents. Like your parents, just imagine your mother, after all these many years of receiving complaint from the school principal about you as a little girl, little boy, and today when the mother sees the school principal coming escorted by other teachers, the mother is again very apprehensive. What kind of complaints? School principal said, no, we came here to congratulate you. What for? that your little girl, little boy, two of them are appointed special students of this school for this year. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They feel so happy to see that you have taken aspiration Bodhicitta vow, which is the greatest of the virtue that you can imagine in this universe, and today you engage in this. So, thus far, since time immemorial till today, they only wish that we stop the engaging in non-virtues and be freed from suffering. On the contrary, we just always chase after the negativities, harming others and so forth, and we continue to go through miseries endlessly, having to shed tears. And while the Buddhist Bodhisattvas only wish that we engage in virtues so that we have abundance of happiness, on the contrary, we shun the virtues and we remain forever bereft of the joys of life, joys of the joys. So today what you did is very different, and you have generated the greatest of the virtue, the Bodhicitta aspiration. Buddhist Bodhisattvas are so happy. This happiness, pride of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas they feel, invoke the Vajramuni at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one they visualize into your heart. They become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the replicas of Vajramuni from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that you visualize at the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each of the family members, including your children, and each of the beings here in Bodhgaya, and in India, in your own country, in the world, in the oceans, in the forests, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. Now, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. This is the greatest thing that you can think of. This is amazing. This is the best way by which you can repay the kindness of all the dear sentient beings. And today you did it. Out of all the offerings that you can make to Buddhist Bodhisattvas, the Buddha declared, one moment of the practice of compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems are offered to Buddhist Bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and today you did it, you have made the greatest offerings to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And with your life, there's nothing greater meaning than this, more meaningful than this. And today you have extracted, given such meaning to your life. This is amazing. All these wonders are happening because of the blessings and the kindness of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture thanking them, once again, let us slowly stand up along with all their sentient beings to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, let us turn to page 51. So this practice of compassion and the wisdom, these two are the most important things in our life, and we are very meritorious that we came in contact with this teaching in this life. What about next life? To make sure that we continue to grow, we need to grow Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhisa. For the growth happens. Not everything together within a single lifetime. It'll take time. So therefore, to make sure that the growth continues to happen even in the next life, we need to meet with this teaching. So this, the verse is for us to wholeheartedly pray that we meet with these two teachings in the future lifetimes with the blessings of Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Let's say these 3 times together. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta even across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even across my life. Now, that not only that we meet with this teaching, but we take it very seriously and pursue this journey of Gadi Gadi Paragati Parasamgati Buddhism very swiftly, and we attach joy with the practice of Bodhicitta emptiness. So the following verses is to attach joy to this precious practice. Okay. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those who, with this discernment, who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way, should highly praise in the following manner. Today, my life has borne fruit, having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now am one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is a supreme ambrosia that overcomes the suffering of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tied on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning moon of the mind that expels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is a great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world. Is a quintessential butter from the churn of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy, and it shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temple and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all joyful. Okay, direction prayers. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards realization of these in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the faultless merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect way in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay, so these prayers, like that I never be separate from the practice of the renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, perfect way in the 2 stages. So when you say this, so often we learn this, see the value, and continue to say prayer that may I never be separate from these practices. The benefit is that, we can see that in this life, we can see that some people, they can easily be swayed. First they come to, very good studies. For example, first they hear something about Buddhism from His Holiness, Nalanda from His Holiness. And then you're so attracted by His Holiness, and then you just do that. And then you start to become very good, little good in this, and then you see different things. And then you easily pulled here, there. Then what happens is that in the end, you end up nowhere. So, whereas like these prayers, renunciation, bodhicitta, the perfect view, and the 2 stages, where these things are happening, you be there and you see that now I'm at home. Then you keep growing in this, So, why you are not easily wavered? Because it is like, it is like, for example, a cotton ball. A cotton ball easily be wavered, easily be moved by the wind. Where this cotton ball tied to a metal, 2 metals, 3 metals, more, then even this cannot be moved by the wind. So this is where the more you recite these things, kind of think about it, and really understand what is renunciation, really understand Bodhicitta, perfect view, and then you feel the value. More you feel the value, more you think about it, the more stable your mind becomes. So in the future lifetimes, you will not be swayed by others very easily. And then your gadi will be very swift, and the awakening of hidden treasure happens very swiftly. Okay, good. So now the Buddha praise chant. Even the say, you see that in the end, I choose to recite the Buddha chant. There are many other chants, for example, like Miksema, Mingmezevadinjerisi, or like Guru Padmasambhava, or any other, there are many other chants. I prefer to do the Buddha, because Buddha will unite all of us. The moment you do something else, then for example, they say in the main statue, if the main statue of Buddha, Theravada comes, they're very happy, our teacher's here. Or say the Chinese tradition comes, they're very happy, oh, our teacher's here. Whereas if it's only like Lama Tsongkhapa, Tibetan teacher, yes, of course, he himself is Buddha. But Theravada comes, okay, who is this? This has nothing to do with us. They will leave. Chinese tradition, they will come. Who is this? And all Guru Padmasambhava there, the Tibetan master there, and who is this? We don't know. So this has nothing to do with us. So this is a problem. So therefore, I deliberately try to finally go back to the root. The root, ultimate root, is the Buddha. So therefore, even the chant that we're reciting is the Buddha chant, not any other chant. So these are the things. So sometimes, sometimes we tend to go to the branch and forget the root. There are many people. They are so obsessed with the branch and they forget the root. Buddha has become secondary. This is where we are going wrong. This is known as we turn to a sectarianism. Okay. Tage tuje shageri so chon shenge me to dege bonjomba sege nembo tabo jibe ku shaye yebo kyala chazeno oh mone Mahamuna Yesvaha Om Muni Mahamuna Yesvaha Tage tuje shageri so chon shenge me to dege bonjomba sege nembo tabo jive ko shaye yebo kyala chazeno oh mone Mahamuna Yesvaha Om Muni Mahamuna Yesvaha Tage tuje shaye riso chon shenge medo he bonjombo sege nembo tabo jebe go shaye gebo kyolo chaseno mone mone mahamona yeswa 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 mone mone mahamona yeswa. Three prostrations together.